In today's video, we are going to talk about transitions in general, what they are, what the names are, how you can pull them off, stuff like that. But before we begin, please remember to subscribe to our channel. Also, click the bell icon to be notified of our future videos. We generally upload a new video each week, and if you want to be notified of that, you gotta click that bell icon. And also, if you're into reading stuff, you can also check our blog. Links are, as always, down in the description. Okay, back to transitions. There are two ways to do transitions. One way is doing it in production phase using the camera, which needs a bit more setup, but it looks more natural. Also, you can dump all the work onto the editor to do it in the post-production. In post-production phase, you have more freedom and, let's say, more artistic freedom to do your work. It is fun, but it's a matter of taste. Yeah. It is a matter of taste. You can do it in post-production, you can do it in production. I like them both, but as an editor, I prefer to do it in post-production. Okay, the first transition is, I believe, something that you have seen in so many films. It is called color match, and the name comes from the way you do it. For example, you decide to zoom into something black, and when you zoom out of it, you are in a new scene. It has been done in so many films, and it is it's a general thing that many directors and filmmakers decide to use. And it doesn't need to be black, or you don't need to just zoom into stuff. You can just move into something black or white or whatever you decide to use, and then move out of it in the same way you moved into the scene. For example, if you zoomed into something, you have to zoom out of it. Or if you decided to pan into something, you have to continue your pan from that color into your new scene.
2, 1, action!
Wow! Using objects is another way of doing transitions, which is kind of like the color match, but it is using objects instead of colors. Imagine the director is deciding to move from one scene to another scene using this ball as a medium between the two scenes. The camera comes, completely zooms in on this ball, and the whole scene is covered with it. And then when he zooms out from the ball, we are in the new scene. This ball is the medium between the two scenes, and this way of doing a transition is fun, but you need to be ready for it, knowing that you are going to use it.
The conversation's just gonna start up again.
This is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
Using the camera itself and its general movements for transition can also be a creative way of doing it. Okay, we have the steady shot here, and we want to transition from it to the indoor shot. The camera is moving from left to right, and it cuts here. And now we are continuing to the indoor shot, and the camera movement should continue the same way. A left to right movement to the indoor shot.
Show in television history. Now, we are, as you know, endorsed by the PTA and the North American Teachers Foundation. They're the longest running quiz show in television history. I want to say something about these kids now. These kids right here, I think they're going to be here a while. But today is a dangerous day.
Okay, now that we have talked about some of the transitions we can do using the camera and gear, now let's jump into Premiere and see some of the stuff we can do using software in post-production. Okay, the first effect we are going to talk about is dip to white, and it is a rather easy one. Just go to your effects panel and search for dip to white. There it is. Now you drag and drop it between your two clips that you have in your timeline. Now let's see how it looks. It is a bit long, so to change it, I'm gonna click on the effect and go to effects control. 1 second is a bit too much, so I'm gonna change it to something like maybe 10 frames. Now see how it looks. Yeah, it looks better now. Again, it's completely based on your taste and the style and the clips that you're using. Okay, the next transition I'm going to work on is called Luma Fade. The first step for doing Luma Fade is to stacking two clips on top of each other based on the duration I would like my transition to take. And I believe this looks fine. So now I'm going to effects and searching for gradient wipe. Make sure you are going to choose this gradient wipe instead of this one under transition and video effects. dragging and dropping it onto my top clip. Now I'm going to effects controls and I'm gonna make some changes to gradient file. First, I'm gonna go to the beginning of my clip and setting a keyframe here at 100%. Now I'm gonna move to the end of the transition and set the second keyframe to 0%. Now let's take a look at it. Yeah, I don't like it that much, it's a bit harsh. So the thing I'm gonna do is to first add some softness. I believe 70% is fine, and also invert gradient. Now let's take a look at it. Much better. Another fun way of doing a transition is using a glitch. Glitches are fun to work with. To do that, first we are going to create an adjustment layer. Okay, and now I'm gonna drag and drop it between my two clips, but the size of the adjustment layer here is a bit too much, so I'm gonna make it a lot more smaller. Something like this, I guess it would be good. Okay, now I'm going to go to effects and search for wave warp. There it is, and I'm gonna now drag and drop it onto the adjustment layer. Going to effects controls, and you can see we have so many options to work with. Based on my experience, I believe square is the best type. And now we are going to play with this one to make it look a bit more appealing and more glitch-like. The first one I'm gonna change is going to add a bit of height to the transition, and also I'm gonna change the direction to something like 120. I believe it'd be fun. As you can see, we have so many dark edges that don't look that nice. To get rid of that, I'm gonna pin all the edges. So let's see how it looks now. I'm also going to add some speed to it. I'm gonna rank it up to 100. Now checking it out, yeah, it looks nice. Okay, that's pretty much it. We also have another video talking about zoom blur transitions, which I believe you should also check that one out. I'm gonna put it at the end of the video. Okay, best of luck and bye.